Welcome into Larks Park. I am Justin Hergert alongside for today's game, Game 5 of this early goings of the 2023 season for your Dodge City A's. Yes, I do say Game 5. What should have been Games 5 and 6 were rained out yesterday in Colorado. So we are actually now playing Game 5 today. And it is a non-league contest between the Dodge City A's and the Hayes Larks. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First, for the Larks, leading off, the center fielder, number 2, Trent Baker. Batting second shortstop, number 4, Austin Stressner. Batting third, the left fielder, number 22, Garrett Gould. Batting fourth, the first baseman, number 26, Tyler LaRue. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 16, John Sasoli. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 6, Damian Ruiz. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 18, Will Pendergrass. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 12, Luis Garcia. And rounding out the lineup for the Hayes Larks is the catcher, number 7, Brady Evans. Starting pitcher on the mound for the Larks is number 25, Cam Walton. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for your Dodge City A's. Leading off, the left fielder, number 6, Cooper Schneider. Batting second, the center fielder, number 12, Caleb Bergman. Batting third, shortstop, number 22, Jordan Black. Batting fourth, right fielder, number 3, Nolan Williams. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 5, Dawson Stutz. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 7, Rudy Gonzalez. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 17, Peter Tassler. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 28, Jordan Rodriguez. And rounding out the lineup for the Dodge City A's is your designated hitter, number 1, Juan Rivera. Starting pitcher tonight is going to be number 2, Caden Blair. And if that sounds familiar, yes, Caden did get the start on the bump last night in the game that would ultimately end up being rained out in the top of the second inning. And I say rain very loosely. It was actually a hail out that ended that game for us, as it was called in the top of the second inning with runners on for the Dodge City A's. So that game was annulled. It does not count. Nothing actually happened in that game. None of the stats count. It was actually deleted out of the record books. So we will actually start a fresh game later on in the season. I don't know for sure, but I believe that the plan is that when the Game Day Angels come to Dodge City later on this season, that we will make those up as doubleheaders at that time. If that is the case, those games will be made up late in the season, which would be Saturday and Sunday, July the 22nd and 23rd, against the Game Day Angels. So those will be the last league games of the year before the A's take on the Gehring Pioneers in non-league action to round out the 2023 season. So that is a look at your starting lineups, and that is where we stand today. Yes, today's game is a non-league game, so in the league standings, no matter what happens tonight, this one will not count. And so that is where we stand at this point. We're going to step aside as we get ready for player introductions. They're doing a special presentation on the field for the Hayes Larks from last year's NBC tournament. We'll talk about the NBC tournament a little bit later on as we get into things, but that's where we stand at this point. We're going to step aside and we'll be back shortly. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. It is the non-league action, the Dodge City A's and Hayes Larks. It is the home opener for the Hayes Larks tonight as we get ready to go. Cam Walton taking the mound for the Hayes Larks tonight. He is 1-0 on the season, and it will be Caden Blair opposing him for your Dodge City A's. So winds blowing in a little bit here from left. A nice clear night after your Dodge City A's were rained out the last 2 nights. And so we will get ready to play ball, and the ceremonial first pitch about to be thrown down for the Hayes Larks. Let's take a look for your Dodge City A's as we get ready to go. Caden Blair on the mound. He comes from Garden City Community College, played his freshman season there. Caden, originally from Omaha, Nebraska, played his sophomore season this year. Made 3 starts, 15 appearances, 33.1 innings pitched. A 3-2 record overall for the Broncbusters and a 9.99 ERA. He has 1 save to his credit. Struck out 27 in those 33.1 innings, allowing 9 home runs on 39 hits. Walked 24, hit 10. A season-high 5 innings that came against Otero on March the 28th. And a season-high 4 strikeouts in that same game as well. Caden mainly used out of the bullpen for Garden City and has 1 no-hit game. That came against Lamar along with his season-high So we will get started. It is Cooper Schneider leading off for your Dodge City A's. Cooper Schneider played his freshman season for the Dodge City Community College Conquistadors this year, and he steps in to the batter's box for first pitch. It is thrown down. It's hit out into short center field. Caught by the center fielder for out number 1. A fly out, 1 pitch, 1 out, and we are underway in Hayes, Kansas. First pitch at 7:05 p.m. So that will be Caleb Bergman stepping in for your Dodge City A's. Caleb played his freshman season for Baylor College this year, or Baylor University, I should say. That pitch in catches the outer edge of the zone for strike number 1. Walton working from the mound. That pitch fouled off, gets Bergman down in the count 0-2. Walton working from the first base to center-ish side of the rubber. Hayes Larks in their cream uniforms tonight. That pitch outside misses for batter number 1. So Larks in their cream uniforms, cream tops, cream bottoms, red numerals, blue hats. Your A's in their yellow jerseys, green numerals outlined in yellow, wearing white pants tonight, green hats. 2-2 count to Caleb Bergman. That called strike, and Bergman will go to the dugout on strikes for out number 2. And that will bring in Jordan Black. Jordan played his season this past year for Johnson County Community College. So he will step in, takes first pitch he sees over the outer edge for strike number 1. That pitch comes back inside and misses, evens a count at 1 apiece to Jordan Black. Walton delivers. That one's driven high. It's going out to left field. It's going. It is over the left field wall. A solo shot for Jordan Black, and the A's take an early lead, 1-0. The second home run of the season for your Dodge City A's, and the A's have drawn first blood here at Larks Park. So that will bring in Nolan Williams. Swing and a miss, and that gets Nolan down in the count 0-1. That one misses, evens the count at 1 apiece to Williams. Nolan played his freshman season at UT Tyler. That pitch outside brings the count to 2-1 against Williams. Coach Cardoza recruiting heavily out of the Texas area this year. He himself just finished playing for Baylor last year. So a young coach, the skipper for the Dodge City A's, is a 3-1 count to Nolan Williams. That pitch is popped up. It is headed over towards the first base dugout. First baseman there to gather it in at the fence for out number 3. That will end the inning for your Dodge City A's. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, none left on. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. Justin Hergert alongside for today's call. Trent Baker stepping in to face Caden Blair as he leads off the bottom of the first. First pitch swung on and fouled off for strike number 1. Blair comes set. The 0-1 delivery to Baker. That one swung on. It's going to find a gap out in left center field, and a leadoff runner aboard for the Larks. Austin Strassner to step in now for the Larks. Caden Blair getting his technically now second start for the A's, although yesterday would have been his first. Like I said, according to all record books, that game does not exist anymore. So, more or less the first start for Caden Blair. That pitch in over the outer edge of the zone for strike number 1. That pitch misses to the outside edge, evens the count at 1 apiece. The A's come into tonight's game a 1-2 record overall. Early goings here in this season. A throw back to first was not in time to check on Trent Baker, who got on with a leadoff single. Blair delivers that one outside, brings the count to 2-1. That pitch misses just outside again, 3-1 the count to Strassner. The 3-1 pitch misses up high to a board now for the Larks. So that will bring in Garrett Gould, the left fielder for the Larks. Gould, the righty, on to face the right-handed Blair. Runners on first and second for the Larks. Nobody out. That pitch popped up high on the infield and called off. Your right fielder catching that one for out number 1. It was Nolan Williams charging in, calling everybody off, making that pop-up catch. That will hold the runners aboard at first and second. Brings in Tyler LaRue. That pitch driven, it's headed out into left field. Called off. Caught by your center fielder, and out number 2 now for the Hayes Larks. Pitch not hit far enough out to allow advancement by the Larks. So that will hold runners at first and second. John Sassoli stepping in for the Larks. Sassoli, the left-hander, takes first pitch he sees inside for ball number 1. That pitch just misses on the outer edge, brings the count to 2-0. 2-0 delivery from Blair. That one catches the outer edge of the zone, brings it to 2-1. Two-one delivery. That's high, gets away from the catcher, but Baker wanted to advance, didn't get far enough away from Gonzalez, and Gonzalez just not able to make the throw down to try to throw Baker out. So runners safe at first and second, and we'll go back to work with a 3-1 count. That pitch popped up being called for by the second baseman, actually called off by the center fielder, and that will end the inning. So after a leadoff hit into shallow left field and then a walk, the Larks not able to take advantage, and they'll strand two. We're headed to the top of the second. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Dawson Stutz leading off the top of the second for the A's. Takes the first pitch inside. That one's popped up. Headed out into right field. It'll be called off and caught by the right fielder, Damian Ruiz. So one out for the Dodge City A's as Rudy Gonzalez steps in. Takes the first pitch he sees on the upper half of the zone for strike number one. That pitch inside and low brings the count to 1-1. That one misses outside, makes it 2-1 now for Rudy Gonzalez, a catcher from UTRGV. That one, it's grounded right sharply at the third baseman. He'll bobble it, so that will be an E5. So the first error of the game for the Hayes Larks is, even if it was fielded cleanly, it might have been trouble. Gonzalez has got some speed on the base paths, but was not fielded very cleanly at all, and an error on the third baseman. So that will bring in Peter Tassler. Takes the first pitch he sees for ball number one. Tassler sends that one out into shallow center field. They'll play it off the hop, and that will put runners aboard at first and second for the Dodge City A's. So an error and a single has runners at first and second, and that will bring in Jordan Rodriguez. Rodriguez, a freshman this year for Dodge City Community College. Cam Walton on the mound for the Larks. First pitch, that one's grounded towards short. A high throw to first, not in time, and an infield single will put the bases loaded. So an error and two hits have loaded the bases for the Dodge City A's. And that brings in Juan Rivera, the 9-hole hitter and designated hitter for the A's. That pitch outside for ball number one. Nobody out, one away here in the top of the second, and the A's with runners in scoring position. Walton delivers. That one's fouled off back near the press box for strike number one. The A's showing that they're not afraid to swing it here in these early innings. Walton delivers. That one, a short fly ball that's played off the hop out in shallow left field. The throw in. They try to go for the fielder's choice to go to second base, but not in time. Bases loaded, and the A's now lead 2-1. So after the leadoff error by Rudy Gonzalez, that one comes around to score. And 3 straight hits have put the A's with bases loaded again. Cooper Schneider at bat for the A's takes the first pitch he sees for strike number one. 1 out here in the top of the second. The A's with a 2-0 lead. Schneider shows bunt, but takes it for a strike. Vega actually pointing, saying that he went around on it, so that is strike number 2 on Schneider. Walton looking in. He's got his sign and comes set. Swung on and missed, and Schneider will go down on strikes. 2 away for the Dodge City A's. That'll bring in Caleb Bergman. Bergman went down on strikes his first time up in the first inning. And we will go to work with bases loaded and 2 away. A's trying to take advantage of bases loaded. Swing and a miss, and strike number 1 to Bergman. Walton delivers. That one outside, misses for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Lots of fans here at the park for the first home game of the season for the Larks. Several fans even gathering out on the elevated walking path past right field. Bergman will foul that one off. Finds himself down in the count 1-2. Our Dodge City A's will return home tomorrow night back to Cavalier Field and will host these Hayes Larks. That game a 7 o'clock start, also a non-league game for the Dodge City A's. That pitch misses just inside, and Walton sure thought it was strike number 3. So a 2-2 count now to Caleb Bergman. Swing and a miss, and Bergman goes down on his second strike. And that will end the inning. The A's leave them loaded, but score 1. We're headed to the bottom of the second. A's with a 2-0 lead. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Damian Ruiz leads off for the Hayes Larks. He fouls the first one off for strike number 1. Caden Blair on the mound again for the Dodge City A's. That pitch driven right back up the center. That'll be a leadoff hit. Runner aboard for the Hayes Larks.
Reduced price on all drinks. The remainder of the half inning, courtesy of Damian Ruiz.
So Damian Ruiz, the beverage batter for the Hayes Larks, which means that all fans get reduced price drinks for the remainder of the second inning. Blair delivers first pitch to Pendergrass, strike, or rather ball number 1. Ruiz taking a big lead, throw to first. And he will steal second after the throw down to first, and then they throw to second to try to get him out. So rather than throwing direct to second, the A's catcher Gonzalez opted to throw to first, but that throw not in time, and runner now in scoring position for the Hayes Larks. So that will be a 2-0 count, and that pitch is hit high and deep. It's going, it's gone. A 2-run home run for Will Pendergrass, and just like that, this game is tied at 2 apiece. So we will go back to work. Nobody out for the Larks. A 2-2 ball game now. And Luis Garcia at bat for the Larks. First pitch to Garcia. It's swung on and missed, and strike number 1. Blair looking in. He's got his sign and comes set. 0-1 delivery, catches the inner part of the zone for strike number 2. And just like that, Garcia down in the count, 0-2. As the A's looking to draw their season even with a win tonight. That pitch misses for ball 1. Blair delivers. That one swung on, driven down to third. Bobbled by Tassler, and Tassler picks it up and throws to Blair covering, but that's not in time, and that'll be an E1. It's hard to do that, but I'm going to have to judge it, and the scoreboard judged it as well as an E1, and I think that's the right call, honestly. That pitch driven foul to Brady Evans, the catcher for the Larks, and he's down in the count 0-1. That pitch driven out into left center field and played off the hop. That'll put runners at second and third for the Hayes Larks. A double for the catcher, Evans, and that will turn the lineup over.
The Larks lead off hitter, the center fielder, number 2,
a single, a home run, an error, and a double. And Esteban out of the dugout. He's going to have a conversation with the infield, and it might be let's slow ourselves down a little bit, instill some confidence, and gather ourselves and try to get out of this inning, find ways to make some pitches and do what we can do to minimize the damage here and try to make some outs. He's a little bit unsteady, showing an uncharacteristic error at first. That likely just a confidence talk by the head coach, Esteban. So that mound visit is over, and we'll go back to work. It turns the lineup over to Trent Baker. Baker led off with a single in the top of the first. One error apiece for each team. And that pitch misses outside for ball number 1. That pitch in catches the outer edge of the zone, evens the count at 1 apiece to Baker. Baker was stranded on the base paths as he led off the top of the first inning with a single. That pitch fouled off and up over top of the press box for strike number 2. He's trying to find ways to minimize here and get out of this inning and go back to work. Baker will step back in. Nobody out for the Larks at this point. That pitch driven right back up the middle. That was score 1. The throw home. Gonzalez pumps like he's going to throw to second. Possibly trying to draw the runner in, but nothing doing. A double for Baker and another run scored. Streisner steps in. He walked on his first time up. Three runs have scored here in the bottom of the second for the Larks. That pitch misses outside for ball number 1. A ground ball back to first, or back to the pitcher rather. Throw to first will be in time, and out number 1 for the Larks. The 7th batter of this inning coming to the plate for the Hayes Larks, and that is Garrett Gruel. Gruel popped up into shallow right field his first time up. Blair kicks and fires. Just misses inside for ball 1. Tony Vega behind the plate for this game. That pitch catches the inner part of the zone, evens the count at 1 apiece. That pitch hit out into left center field. Tagging up is Evans, and coming home, another run scores. The Larks lead 4-2 on that sacrifice fly by Luke Gruel.
The first baseman of our Blazers, Tyler LaRue.
So Tyler LaRue steps in, takes the first pitch he sees for ball number 1. 2 away for the Larks and the 8th batter this inning. Tyler LaRue flew out into center field his first time up. That pitch just misses outside, or catches the outer edge of the zone for strike one. One delivery from Blair. Kicks and fires. That pitch catches the inner part of the zone. Strike number 2. We will take a step out. So we will go to work now. A 1-2 count to LaRue, 2 away for the Larks. That pitch driven high and deep to left field, and it will go foul as that ball was home run power as it easily cleared the fence. So we'll do the 1-2 over again. That pitch fouled off, and it heads out into the parking lot behind first base. We'll do the 1-2 over again.
It just missed the bus.
The A's have, or the Larks have the hit power. That pitch driven just over the head of Rodriguez at short. Another run will score, and that will put LaRue on second, a stand-up double. And just like that, the full lineup will come to bat here in the second inning for the Hayes Larks, and it is John Sassoli coming to bat for the Larks. Sassoli, the pop-up victim, his first time up. One count now to Sassoli. The 2-1 count now to Sassoli. Blair fires. That one just misses the outside edge, brings it to 3-1. That pitch just misses the outside as well, so a walk, and the Larks have batted around in this inning. Damian Ruiz will step back in, and Ruiz now the 10th batter in this inning. We're going to have a mound visit, and this will likely be a pitching change. We'll tell you about it when we come back. We're going to step aside as the Larks have scored 5 here in this inning. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Taylor Penley taking over the mound for the Dodge City A's. Penley finished his senior season at UTRGV. No record really for him. Penley's been injured the last couple of years and has not seen in-game action to have any stats to talk about. So first pitch comes in to Damian Ruiz, who led off this inning with a single for ball number 1. That pitch catches the outer edge of the zone from the lefty Penley for strike 1. A 2-1 count to Damian Ruiz, and we cannot officially close the book yet on Caden Blair, as the runner on second is credited to him. Actually, runners at first and second credited to Caden Blair. That pitch driven high and deep. It's left field. It is called foul. And that ball not foul by very far. So we will go back to work. A 2-2 count to Ruiz. Penley. Oh, and they will pick off Tyler LaRue. LaRue caught stealing, going second to third. And that will mercifully end this inning as we head to the top of the third. The A's trailing 5-2. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. We are headed into the top of the third. Cam Walton back out for the Larks, and it will be Jordan Black leading off for your Dodge City A's. Black singled his first time up. First pitch to Black in for ball number 1. Swung on and missed, and that will even the count at 1 apiece. That pitch gets Black scooting back, moves the count to 2-1. To the count now to Black. And I stand corrected. That was a home run in the top of the first for Jordan Black. A full count now for Jordan. That
That pitch outside, the payoff pitch misses, and a leadoff walk. Runner aboard for the Dodge City A's. So that will bring in Nolan Williams. First pitch in for strike one to and that pitch comes into the crowd for strike number 2. Williams down in the count, 0-2. Walton looking in, makes his little duck down, comes set. Fires in, that one misses on the outside edge for ball 1. Walton makes a little duck down, then he'll come set. That one misses inside and evens a count at 2 apiece to Nolan Williams. Walton looks in, fires that one on the outer edge of the zone, and Williams down on strikes. The third strikeout, one in every inning for Walton so far, and that will be one away for the Dodge City A's. That brings in Dawson Stutz. Stutz a fly-out victim, his first time up. Strike number 1 to Stutz. Black on base at first, one away for the A's here in the top of the third. A 5-2 ball game, 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for the Larks. That pitch down low, Evans blocking it and keeping in front. Brings the count to 1-1. The A's with 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error as well. Larks doing all their damage in the bottom of the second. Pitch well outside, brings it to 2-1 to Stutz. That pitch misses outside again as Evans lays out to keep it here, and 3-1 count. We're going to have a mound visit from their Hayes Larks pitching coach. So this mound visit, a conversation likely to talk about, let's find the strike zone and get out of this inning and go back to work. Maybe a little bit of a... Walton has been working with some increased tempo, trying to keep the A's batters off balance. And Mr. Harper might have been having some comments about, let's slow it down a little bit and focus on accuracy and a little less on speed. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? So we'll go back to work. A 3-1 count for Dawson Stutz. Runner aboard for the Dodge City A's. The 3-1 pitch. That is fouled off. A full count now. And as that ball bounces back, the ball thrown out to Walton gets away from him. So we will see a payoff pitch. Walton looks in. He's got his sign, the payoff pitch from Walton. right off the outer edge for a strikeout. 2 away now for the Dodge City A's. And that will bring in Rudy Gonzalez. Back-to-back strikeouts for the A's. Both of them looking. Gonzalez got on an error his last time up. First pitch misses outside for ball number 1. And the A's trying to get something going. They want to cut into this 5-2 deficit. That pitch just on the inside, called strike for the first strike against Gonzalez. That pitch driven out into right field and caught by Ruiz. That will end the inning. The A's straying 1. And that will be it. We're headed to the bottom of the third. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. Justin Hergert alongside Caleb Jamison for the call here today. We can officially close the book now for Caden Blair. He goes an inning and 2/3, allows 6 hits, walks 2, 5 runs, no batters hit, and no strikeouts. He faces 14. That is the stat line for Caden Blair and his first official start for the Dodge City A's. So we will go back to work. It is Taylor Penley on the mound now after he comes in and gets a pickoff move in the bottom of the second that ended that 5-run inning for the Larks. That pitch well outside to Sasoli for, actually that should be Ruiz. Damian Ruiz. A 2-0 count. He led off the second inning with a single. And he was at bat when Tyler LaRue was picked off. So a 2-1 count now to Ruiz. Won the count to Ruiz. That pitch driven out into left field, played off the hop by Schneider, and Ruiz will be aboard, and the beverage batter getting reduced price drinks for this crowd here at Larks Park for the second inning in a row. So that will bring in Will Pendergrass. He hit the home run that scored Ruiz in the bottom of the second. pitch high and outside for ball number 1. The lefty Penley struggling a little bit with that outside pitch. Penley looks in and fires. That's down and inside for ball 2. That pitch again outside makes it 3-0. For every inning so far, granted we're just in the third, every inning the Larks have had their leadoff runner aboard. That pitch outside, a 4-pitch walk, and that will put runners on first and second for the Larks. Gonzalez going to go out and have a conversation with Penley. No work currently in the bullpen for either team. Gonzalez taking some time to relay information to the infield. And we will go back to work. Shadow is starting to creep in from first to third as sunsets begins here in Hayes, Kansas. The first pitch fielded by that is Jordan Black. The throw to Stutz at second, throw to first in time, a double play and 2 away. So Garcia grounds into a double play and much needed 2 outs. So that first pitch misses to Brady Evans. Runner in scoring position for the Larks, and that wild pitch will allow Ruiz to score from third. So the Larks lead this one 6-2, nobody on, and 2 outs for Brady Evans. That pitch is popped up on the infield. Tassler giving chase, and he calls it. That will end the inning. So that ends it for the Larks. As a single, and Ruiz comes around to score. And we are headed to the top of the 4th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. Justin Hergert alongside with Caleb Jamison for the call tonight. Some other non-league action occurring around. The Liberal BJs take down North Platte 5-2 tonight. So that game already finished. BJs in the early goings of their season as well. The A's trailing this one 6-2 as we go back to work. Peter Tassler leading off for the Dodge City A's. Tassler fouls that one off. Down in the count, 0-1 as he faces Cam Walton out for his now 4th inning of work. Tassler singled his last time up. That pitch inside gets Tassler scrambling back. Evens a count at 1 apiece. Coach Esteban over in the third base coaching box. Coach Colby over at first. A swing and a miss and has Tassler down in the count 1-2. Tassler swings and misses, and the 5th strikeout of the game for Cam Walton. That will bring in Jordan Rodriguez. Rodriguez singled his last time up. The first pitch to Rodriguez. It is fouled off over the first base dugout for strike number 1. Oh, 1 delivery from Walton. Swung on and missed. Gets Rodriguez down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery catches the zone for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts in this inning, and that will bring in Juan Rivera, the designated hitter. Rivera singled his last time up.
The city designated hitter, number 1, Juan Rivera.
7 strikeouts so far in this game for Cam Walton. Rivera is hit by the pitch and runner aboard for the Dodge City A's. So that will turn the lineup over for the A's, and Cooper Schneider coming up for his 3rd at bat. So Rivera steals second before the first pitch is ever thrown to Schneider. The A's showing their aggressiveness on the base paths. Rivera with a big lead off a second, a swing and a miss, and that will, or actually that is called foul for strike number 1. Rivera with his neon orange shoes. Hard to miss him out there on the base paths right now. Schneider ducks down and takes that for ball number 1. More and more shadows starting to creep in from the first base side. Brady Evans got a piece of that ball as he's shaking some off. That ball might have hit Evans in a place that does not feel so good. Even though they wear protection, those balls hit in places that don't feel good. So we'll go back to work. A 1-2 count to Cooper Schneider. Rivera on at second. The 1-2 pitch misses inside for ball 2. A wild pitch, and that will allow Rivera to advance to third. Runner still in, or runner now 90 feet away from scoring. And a base hit could show some signs of life for the A's. A swing and a miss. Actually, that is fouled off, and Evans again shaken up a little bit, taking a time to walk around and shake that one off. Walton's going to owe a drink or something to Evans for all the work he's done behind the plate for him tonight. A full count for Cooper Schneider, the payoff pitch from Walton. A sharp tapper that goes foul, and we'll do the payoff over again. The payoff pitch, that one just catches the outer part of the zone, and I'm not sure you could have flown a gnat between the edge of the zone and that ball, but it's called a strike nonetheless. That will end the inning. The A's strand one. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Well, I failed to mention the fact that technically Cam Walton struck out the side in that half inning, as all 3 outs were strikeouts, and all 3 outs, well, 2 of the 3 outs were caught looking. So Trent Baker at bat for the Hayes Larks here in the bottom of the fourth. Hayes with a 6-2 lead. A 2-0 count to Baker. Baker is single and a double so far in this game. The 2-0 misses outside, makes it 3-0. Penley struggling a little bit with control here as he makes his first appearance for the Dodge City A's. Taylor, that pitch just misses, and on a pitch that so a 4-pitch walk puts leadoff runner aboard for the 4th inning in a row for the Hayes Larks. Trent Baker has been on board every time he's been at the plate. So Strassner, a walk and grounded out to the pitcher his first time up, or his last time up, rather. That pitch gets away from Gonzalez. 1-0 the count to Strassner. There is a pitcher kind of starting to warm up down in the Hayes bullpen. And it looks like Preston Gamster headed down to the bullpen area for the A's. I'm not sure if Preston's going down there to warm up or stand guard. That pitch called strike on the outer edge for strike one. That pitch in for strike number two gets Strassner down in the count 1-2. That pitch bounces in front of the mound, and that will move Baker to third. So wild pitches have moved Baker from first to second and now second to third. As the A's pitching staff struggling to find the zone here at Hayes. 2-2 delivery from Penley. Swung on and missed, and Strassner will go down on strikes. The first strikeout of the game for the A's pitching staff. And the first out of this inning for the Hayes Larks. That will bring in Garrett Gruhl. Gruhl, a sac fly his last time up. Gruhl yet to be on the bases for the Larks. Gruhl and LaRue, the only two Larks to not reach at this point. That pitch misses to the outside for ball number one. That pitch grounded to the second baseman. It will be a fielder's choice as the throw home was wide to the first base side, and the Larks take a 7-2 lead.
The first baseman, number 26.
First pitch to LaRue, called strike. LaRue down in the count 0-1. Yambi Fuga down in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. Ground to short, throw to second, and that will be the inning-ending double play that the A's needed as we head to the top of the fifth. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. Justin Hergert alongside Caleb Jamison on the call tonight as the A's take on the Larks in non-league action. Luke Terbeek now on the mound for the Larks as the night for Cam Walton is done. Officially, he goes 4 innings, allows 4 hits, 1 walk, 2 runs, hits 1 batter, strikes out 8, and faces 19. Caleb Bergman leading off for the Dodge City A's, shows bunt and takes the first pitch he sees for ball number 1. Bergman showing bunt again, pulls back and takes that one for ball 2. The 2-0 delivery from Terbeek. That is grounded back up at the shortstop Stressner. Throw to first in time and 1 away for the Dodge City A's. That will bring in Jordan Black. Black walked on his last time up. He also hit the home run in the top of the first that at that time gave the A's the 1-0 lead. Terbeek's first pitch misses outside for ball number 1. That pitch in catches the outer edge of the zone, evens the count at 1 apiece to Black. The 1-1 delivery, grounded at the second baseman Garcia. Well, the throw to first will be in time for out number 2. Back-to-back groundouts for the Dodge City A's. And 2 away. That will bring in Nolan Williams. Williams, a strikeout victim his last time up. First pitch he sees catches the outer edge of the zone for strike number 1. And for the first time, Terbeek works ahead. The 0-1 grounded at the shortstop, bobbled. Throw to first will still be in time, and the A's will go down 1-2-3. 3 straight groundouts, and we are headed to the bottom of the 5th. A's trailing 2-7. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Bottom of the 5th here at Larks Park. The Larks leading the A's 7-2. Taylor Penley back on the mound for the A's. And he will face the middle part of the order for the Larks. It is Sasoli, Ruiz, and Pendergrass due up for the Larks. Sacoli walked on his last time up. White starting to come on here at Larks Park. The first pitch to Sacoli. Down low for ball number 1. The A's will face these Larks here tomorrow night. That game at Cavalier Field. That ball popped up. And Gonzalez able to haul that one in right at the screen for out number one. A big first out for the Dodge City A's. And for the first time this game, the leadoff batter does not get aboard for the Hayes Larks.
Tonight's A Street Liquor Beverage batter, the right fielder, number 6, Damian Ruiz.
So that will bring in Damian Ruiz. Ruiz, the beverage batter for the Larks, and he will take the first pitch he sees outside for ball number one. Ruiz in the second and third gave the Larks fans discounted drinks as he was on base both times. That pitch catches the outer edge of the zone, evens the count at one apiece. Penley working from the third base side of the rubber. Pitch catches the outer edge of the zone again and gets Ruiz down in the count 1-2. The 1-2 delivery in bounces away from Gonzalez, and that will even the count at two apiece to Ruiz. The 2-2 pitch from Penley as he shakes one off. Now he's got what he wants. He comes set. The 2-2 delivery. High and outside, a full count now. The payoff pitch from Taylor Penley. Just misses the outer edge of the zone, and a walk to Damian Ruiz. So Ruiz with back-to-back singles is walked on. Runner aboard with one away for the Larks in the bottom of the fifth. That will bring in Will Pendergrass. Pendergrass, a walk and a home run. First pitch to Pendergrass. High and outside, ball number one. Ruiz, a big lead off at first, will retreat back 2-0 the count now to Pendergrass. 2-0 delivery. Swung on. It is hit just past the outstretched arms of Black, but that will hold Pendergrass at first. A single. Runners at first and second now for the Hayes Larks.
The Larks second baseman, number 12, Luis Garcia.
That will bring in Luis Garcia. Garcia hit into a double play his last time up. So Garcia on via the error at third base in the bottom of the second. That pitch in and hits Garcia, and that will load the bases for the Larks with one away. And that will bring in the catcher, Brady Evans. Bases loaded with one away. Evans popped up to the first baseman, Tassler, his last time up. We're going to have a mound visit from head coach Esteban Cardoza. And this may be the end of the night for Penley. It will be. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Fuga on the mound for the Dodge City A's. The night for Penley is done. He will go 2 2/3 innings, allowing 2 hits, walks 3, hits 1, strikes out 1, and faces 13. We cannot close the official stat line yet, as all 3 runners on base are currently credited to Taylor Penley. So we will give you his final stat line at the closure of this inning. But it is Fuga on the mound now for the Dodge City A's as he faces the 9-hole hitter Brady Evans. That pitch hit high and deep. It's headed out into left center field. Bergman caught that one, and a sac fly will score one, now 2 away for the Hayes Larks.
Sacrifice fly for Brady Evans. Top of the Larks batting order. The center fielder.
So that will turn the batting over back at the top with Trent Baker. Baker walked on his last time up. Baker has been on base every time he's been at the plate. A single, a double, walked on, takes the first pitch he sees for strike number 1. Fuga working from the third base side of the rubber. Takes a look back at second. He'll kick, fire. That pitch grounded out into right center field. The throw home. Bobbled by Gonzalez. 2 runs will score. So that will be a single for Trent Baker. I'm officially going to rule it a single for Baker. He'll advance on the throw. The throw home just not fielded cleanly by the catcher Gonzalez, and I'm not sure if we would rule those 2 scores on error or not. It's a hard call to make, and I'm not sure what. That pitch driven high and deep out into left field. Schneider tracking it. He's got it. And that will end the inning for the Hayes Larks after 3 runs score. And in all honesty, I think that second run that scores has to be called an error. Because if that ball is, even if it's held on the infield, that run does not score. So at least that run has to be an E2. And I think that's what we're going to go. So a single and then an error that scores. And that will put the Larks with a 10-2 advantage as we head to the top of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Pengelly takes over the mound for the Larks. And after some thought and conversation up here in the booth, both of those runs will be ruled on an error, and it's going to go against the catcher Gonzalez. So the Larks with a 10-2 lead as we head into the top of the 6th. And the A's will bring Dawson Stutz to bat to lead off the 6th against the new pitcher Pengelly. So Terbeek will get 1 inning of work, and he'll go 1, 2, 3 in that inning. And that will be his official stat line. No runs, no hits, no errors. And that pitch to Stutz from Pengelly for strike number 1. That pitch fouled off, gets Stutz down in the count 0-2, and Stutz yet to be on base for the A's as he flew out his first time up and then struck out in the 3rd. That pitch up for ball number 1. So the A's scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, answered by the Larks scoring 5 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 3 in the 5th to give us the 10-2 score as it stands. That pitch fouled off, and we'll do the 1-2 over again. The A's 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, actually 2 errors. That pitch in, not sure how it missed Stutz, but he jumps back, brings the count even at 2 apiece. The Larks with 10 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. That pitch fouled off, and we'll do the 2-2 over again. The 2-2 misses up high, and a full count now to Dawson Stutz. That pitch catches the outer edge and gets Stutz looking for strike and out number 1. That will bring in Gonzalez. Gonzalez made the spectacular catch in the top of this inning, or the bottom of the last inning, to get an out. And that pitch low misses for ball number 1. That pitch fouled off and driven into the parking lot back behind the first base dugout. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Pitch high, brings it to 2-1. Gonzalez flew out to right field his last time up. Takes that pitch down low, 3-1 the count. The A's trying to show patience at the plate. That pitch grounded to the shortstop Stressner. Throw to first in time, and now 2 away for the Dodge City A's. That will bring in Peter Tassler. Tassler, a strikeout victim his last time up. Tassler struck out looking and was on via a single in the top of the 2nd. Tassler tried to check his swing, but goes around for strike number 1. That pitch in and catches the lower part of the zone, gets Tassler down in the count 0-2. Swung on and fouled off towards the first base dugout. We'll do the 0-2 over again. That pitch misses. Brings the count to 1-2 to Peter Tassler. Pitch taken down low. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Top of the 6th in what is scheduled to be a 9-inning game. Pitch fouled off down the third base side. We're going to do the 2-2 over again. Tassler fouls that one off again, more at the third base dugout this time. And he'll stay alive. Back-to-back foul balls. Pengley will win that duel as he paints the outer edge for strike number 3, and that strikeout will end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. The A's trailing 10-2. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Fuga back on the mound for the Dodge City A's in the bottom of the 6th as he faces Garrett Gruhl. Gruhl takes first pitch for strike number 1. Fuga kicks, fires, that pitch fouled off, gets Gruhl down in the count 0-2. Sierra College product made 6 appearances this last year, 6.1 innings pitched, a 1-0 record to his name, an 8.53 ERA with 6 strikeouts. The 0-2 delivery down low makes it 1-2 to Gruhl. Yambi Fuga primarily a late reliever in games for Sierra. That pitch popped up. Tassler giving chase. He's tracking it over on the warning track, not able to haul it in as he slides before he gets to the fence. And Gruel will stay alive. The 1-2 delivery to Gruel. Fuga kicks, fires. That one swung on and missed. A strikeout will get us started in the bottom of the 6th for out number 1. Just the second strikeout of the game for the A's pitching staff. One credited to Taylor Penley and one now for Fuga. And we will go to work with Tyler LaRue. LaRue grounded into a double play his last time up. Fuga kicks, fires, deliver on the outer edge of the zone for strike number 1. Fuga with his pitching delivery will pick up his left leg. He kicks, brings it back a little bit. Swing and a miss, and that will get LaRue down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery from Fuga. He rocks, kicks, fires that one down low for ball 1. The 1-2 delivery from Fuga. He'll fire. That one's fouled off, and we'll do the 1-2 over again. The A's trying to hang their first scoreless inning since the first. The Larks have scored in every inning since the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Fuga rocks, kicks, fires. The 1-2 delivery is fouled off, and we'll do it over again. And a large crowd on hand for the Larks opener. So we look through the stands and even down in the pavilion, lots of people around. That pitch grounded at Black, throw to first in time, 2 away. Jordan Black with a laser beam fire over to first to get the second out of the inning, and the A's trying to hang a 0 here in the bottom of the 6th. So that will bring in John Sicoli. Sicoli, a pop-up victim right in front of the screen his last time up. That was the amazing catch that was made by Gonzalez right on the screen as he ran out of room. That pitch, and on the inner edge for strike number 1. Sicoli down in the count, 0-1. Sicoli technically not an official, well, never mind. 0-2 in this game. The only time he's been on base was via a walk. That pitch fouled down the first base line, and Sicoli down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery from Fuga as he rocks, kicks, fires, and delivers low for ball 1. Gonzalez staying low to keep that ball in front of him. Again, the A's will return home tomorrow. They will face these Larks tomorrow, and then welcome in the Rough Riders for a 3-game series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That pitch catches the outer edge, and the Larks will go down 1-2-3. That will end the inning. We're headed to the top of the 7th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Jordan Rodriguez leading off the bottom, or rather the top of the 7th. A rendition of God Bless America in between innings as we go to work. Rodriguez down in the count, 0-2. That pitch actually now strike 2, a 1-2 count to Rodriguez. That pitch down low evens the count at 2 apiece. The 2-2 delivery. Rodriguez checks but goes around, and he'll go down on strikes for the 2nd time. And that will bring in Juan Rivera. Rodriguez, Rivera, and Schneider due up this inning for the Dodge City A's. Rivera steps in with his bright orange neon cleats. Rivera hit by pitch his last time up. That pitch down low for ball number 1. Reminder that all games at Cavalier Field, home for your Dodge City A's, those games will be played at 7 p.m. We will go live with pregame about 6:45. 1-1 count to Rivera. That pitch, outer edge of the zone, gets Rivera down 1-2. So the A's will face these Hayes Larks in another non-league contest tomorrow evening. Rivera swings and misses, and he'll go down on strikes for out number 2. And the Larks pitching staff hanging K's all over the board against the Dodge City A's tonight. Jordan Black and Rudy Gonzalez, the only 2 A's batters to not get a strikeout in this game so far. Cooper Schneider at the plate, down in the count, 0-1. Schneider, a strikeout victim, looking his last time up. He'll foul that one off and finds himself down in the count, 0-2. And the A's have gone 1-2-3 in the previous 2 innings, trying to get something going here in the third. That pitch up high makes it 1-2 to Schneider, and I stand corrected. This is the 7th inning, not to make it 3 in a row, to go to 1-2-3. Schneider will strike out looking for the 2nd time in a row, and he's not happy with himself as he'll walk back to the dugout. It is stretch time in Hayes, Kansas. And a good point from my cohort up here in the booth. Pengelly strikes out the side as it's stretch time. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. It is a new pitcher on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Preston Gamster taking over in his first ever collegiate start on the bump. That information thanks to my cohort up here in the booth. Caleb, thank you for joining in. Gamster on the mound, first pitch in for ball number 1 to the Beverage batter, Damian Ruiz. That pitch catches a zone for strike 1. So after Fuga gets the first 1-2-3 inning for the Dodge City A's, he goes an inning and 2/3. So a 2-1 count to Ruiz. Now a 3-1 count. Gamster with that pitch. It's driven out into right field. It is tracked down by Nolan Williams for out number 1. And the Hayes Larks robbed of a leadoff hitter by Williams. And that is the first ball to leave the infield since the middle of the 5th inning. That pitch in for strike number 1 to Pendergrass. Gamster from Paris Junior College. That pitch, a sidearm delivery, catches the inner part of the zone, gets Pendergrass down in the count 0-2. Gamster, normally a middle infielder, played that way for Paris this last year. Swing and a miss, and Pendergrass will go down on strikes, out number 2. And that will bring in Luis Garcia. Garcia was on via a hit by pitch his last time up. The first pitch from Gamster, the sidearm delivery in and catches his own for strike number 1. So the A's getting creative tonight, trying to find ways to eat up some innings and go home and play back on home field. As they trail this one 10-2. 1-1 delivery from Gamster. This is the outside edge. 2-1 now the count for Luis Garcia. Gamster throws in. That pitch a little bit low, brings it to 3-1. Pitch misses inside, a runner aboard for the Larks. Brady Evans will step in, hit into a sacrifice fly his last time up, popped up to Tassler at first before that, and hit a double the first time he saw the plate. Evans 1 for 3 on the evening. That pitch wild and outside, that will move Garcia over to second. Multiple wild pitches here tonight on both sides of the inning for both teams. So not necessarily a clean game, and that 10-2 result or 10-2 score on the board right now is not indicative of the way this game has actually been. A 1-1 count to Evans. That pitch down low brings it to 2-1. The A's, unfortunately, with 2 previous rainouts, 2 days of rainouts on a long road trip into Denver, not necessarily playing their best baseball right now. 3-1 the count to Brady Evans. And unfortunately, here in the early part of the season, rainouts have just been an issue that every team has had to deal with. A full count now to Brady Evans. The payoff pitch from Gamster. He delivers. A half-hearted swing, and he'll foul that one off as he just barely got a piece of it. We'll do the payoff over again. Payoff pitch again, misses high, and that will put runners on first and second for the Larks. Back-to-back walks for Gamster. That will turn the lineup over again as we go to Trent Baker. Baker singled and advanced on the throw his last time up, and they're going to put a courtesy runner on.
Courtesy runner for the Larks.
Bryson Evans, the courtesy runner for the Larks.
Top of the order for the Larks, the center fielder, Trent Baker.
Trent Baker at bat now with the courtesy runner on. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Takes the first pitch. He sees 4. Strike number 1. Gonzalez blocks that one. Runners move up. Gamster fires that one on the outer edge, gets Baker down in the count, 1-2. The pitch down and a little bit outside as Gonzalez goes down clear into the turf. 2-2 the count now to Baker. Both catchers tonight just doing everything they can to keep balls in front of them. Has not been the best outings from either side of the pitching staffs. That pitch is fouled off, and we'll do the 2-2 over again. Gonzalez again dives and keeps that one in front of him. A 3-2 count now to Baker. The payoff pitch coming from Gamster. He's set, delivers that one outside, and that will load the bases. I want to go back to what I said at the beginning of this inning. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first ever outing and the first time ever that Mr. Gamster has been on the mound. I don't know about his high school career, but as a collegiate player, this is the first time ever that Preston Gamster has seen the bump. And we're going to have a mound visit from Esteban, as this might be more of a let's talk about things and make sure that we get an out somewhere no matter what it is. With bases loaded, it's more of a strategy of do we bring the infield in? Do we set them up in double play depth? How do we handle this, and how do we make sure that we play it cleanly and get the out? That's the most important part at this point, as the A's are trying to take advantage and get out of this inning and get the bats back going again, as the A's have been held scoreless since the second.
You have those 2 tickets, take them to the grill shack right behind the Larks concession stand. Claim your prices. Hang on to your tickets. We still
So with bases loaded, the home plate umpire, Tony Vega, is going to go out and break up this mound visit.
$100 cash prizes, so hang on to your tickets. We'll read those numbers very soon.
And home plate umpire Tony Vega having an extended conversation with Coach Esteban as he walks back to the dugout, and we'll go to work. It is Austin Stressner at bat for the Hayes Larks. Strasner. I've butchered that name all night long. First pitch to Strasner for ball 1. I apologize We will go back to work the 1-0 delivery from Gamster. That pitch misses low for ball 2. Two-0 delivery. Inside, gets Stressner backing off, makes it 3-0. That pitch, even though it was wild, still a walk. That will score 1. And for now, the 5th inning in this game, the Larks have played it at least 1. The first pitch to Garrett Gruhl, a ball. That one in and catches the outer part of the zone. Evens a count at 1 apiece. That pitch fouled off down the third base side, and that will get Gruhl down in the count 1-2. Gamster takes an extended step off the mound. And he will step back on. He's got his sign and come set. 1-2 delivery from Gamster. Tony Vega taking time to make that call. Shows foul. So we will do the 1-2 over again. That pitch inside at the legs makes it 2-2. Two delivery. Swung on and missed. That will mercifully end the inning as the Larks leave them loaded. We're headed to the top of the 8th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Larks Park. Justin Herbert alongside Caleb Jamison as we make the call. The A's trailing 11-2. Caleb Bergman leading off as he faces Jet Lotus. Bergman swings and misses for strike number one. That pitch high and inside gets Bergman scrambling, evens the count at one apiece. The 1-1 delivery misses inside and low. 2-1 to Bergman. 2-1 delivery, swung on and missed, evens the count at two apiece. Bergman, 2 strikeouts and a ground out so far in this game as he fouls that one off, and we'll do the 2-2 over again. Somebody's car wore that one. The 2-2 count to Bergman. That one high and to the edge of the zone. I'm not sure about that one, but called a strike anyway, and out number one for the Dodge City A's. His third strikeout of the game, second one looking, and that will bring in Jordan Black. Black grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. The first pitch to Black on the outer edge for strike one. Tony Vega telling Black to get back in the box. That pitch in and low for ball one. One delivery from Lotus. That one high and inside makes it 2-1 to Jordan Black. Lotus played his season for Oklahoma University, and he's got some zip on his delivery. That pitch low and inside makes it 3-1 to Jordan Black. The 3-1 delivery swung on and missed, and a full count now for Black. The payoff pitch from Lotus. Comes set. That pitch misses high and inside, and runner aboard for the Dodge City A's. The first time the A's have had a runner on since the top of the fourth inning. And that was Juan Rivera, who was on via a hit by pitch. The A's have been held hitless since the second. That pitch misses for ball one to Nolan Williams. The A's 2 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors in this ball game. The Larks with 11 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. That pitch driven, it's going high and deep. It's left field, and the left fielder, Gruhl, just turns and looks at it and admires as it goes over the fence. A 2-run home run for Nolan Williams, and the A's cut into this lead. It is now an 11-4 ball game. And that a massive home run for Nolan Williams and gives life to the Dodge City A's. And dare we say that Williams just ambushed that pitch. He drove it beautifully over the left field wall, and Gruhl knew. He just turned around and looked as it cleared the fence by several feet. So that will bring in Dawson Stutz. Stutz takes the first pitch he sees for strike number 1. A swing and a miss, and that will get Stutz down in the count 0-2. 2 home runs in this ball game, one for Jordan Black, and now the 2-run shot for Nolan Williams. Stutz will swing and miss. Out number 2 for the Dodge City A's. So that will bring in Gonzalez, the catcher for your Dodge City A's. Gonzalez grounded out to the shortstop his last time up. A swing and a miss, and that gets Gonzalez down in the count 0-1. The first pitch, that pitch misses outside, makes it 1-1. Lotus delivers. That pitch swung on and missed as Gonzalez goes down to a knee. He's down in the count 1-2. That pitch catches the inner part of the zone, and Gonzalez will go down on strikes, but the A's have clawed into this one. They get 2 runs off the 2-run shot from Nolan Williams. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. The A's trailing 11-4. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Another new pitcher on the mound for the Dodge City A's. This time, it is a catcher, number 10, Alex Gallion. The first time that Gallion has been on the mound this year that we know of, and I can verify that as having watched his career as a Dodge City Community College Conquistador this spring. First pitch into Tyler LaRue for ball number 1. Gallion was a transfer to Dodge City in the spring, came from Bossier Parish. And that pitch Gets away from Gonzalez. 2-0 the count to LaRue. Gallion made his time at Dodge City Community College, came in as a pitcher, ended up moving to second base and infield later in the season, and ended up having most of his season's highs late in the season as the Conquistadors went to Kansas City for playoffs. 2-1 count to LaRue. That pitch down low makes it 3-1. That pitch swung on and missed by LaRue. A full count now for him. We will see the payoff pitch from Gallion. Gallion working from the first base side of the rubber. Takes a step back. Fires. That one's low, so it will be a walk, and a leadoff walk at that for the Hayes Larks. For the first time since the fourth inning, the Larks have their leadoff runner aboard. First pitch to Sasoli, a strike. Two runners aboard for the Larks after the hit by pitch. That pitch popped up, headed towards the second baseman, fielded by Stutz, and out number one for the Larks. So Will Pendergrass will come in. And he will foul that one off. That pitch is fouled off down the left field side, and that will get Pendergrass down in the count 0-2. So a walk, a hit by pitch, and that puts runners on first and second. Then a pop out, and Pendergrass will foul that one off to stay alive in this 0-2 count. Gonzalez shaking his hand a little bit. That pitch fouled off and likely got a piece of his throwing hand. One away here in the bottom of the eighth. A ball gets into the outfield as there are some young kids that are playing catch out past the right field wall down in the dugout, or rather bullpen area for the visiting team. So we will go back to work. An 0-2 count to Pendergrass. Gallion kicks, fires a high curveball for ball number 1. Gallion tried to break a curveball off, and that one was about 3 feet too high. That pitch fired in, blocked low, evens the count at 2 apiece. Two delivery. That one's popped up. It's headed out into shallow right center field. It will be hauled in by Caleb Bergman, and that not deep enough to allow advancement. 2 away here in the 8th inning.
The second baseman, number 12, Luis Garcia.
That will bring in Luis Garcia. Garcia walked on his last time up. He's been on via a walk, a hit by pitch, and an error. So every free way that he can get on, he's done it in this. The first pitch in for a strike to Garcia. That pitch fouled off, gets Garcia down in the count 0-2. Back-to-back pitchers for the Dodge City A's making their first collegiate appearance on the mound tonight. That pitch down low for ball number 1. And the A's, although likely going to fall in this one, does not play into the league standings overall, as both of these games tonight and tomorrow night are non-league contests against the Larks. So we will go back to work, a 1-2 count to Garcia. Gallion looks back at second, kicks, fires that ball. Hits Garcia, and that will load the bases. So bases loaded, and that will bring in Brady Evans. He walked on his last time up. The first pitch to Evans. Catches a zone for strike number 1. A 1 delivery, chopped down the third base side, fielded, throw to first in time. The crowd not happy with that call, but it is the right one made. That will end the inning. The Larks leave them loaded. We're headed to the top of the 9th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Well, fans, here it is, the top of the 9th inning. In the first game that the A's have played since Sunday evening, the A's opened the season a single game against the Denver Cougars. On Saturday evening, they dropped that one, split a doubleheader against the Cougars on Sunday, and their first action now since then coming here tonight at Larks Park. This 9-inning affair, the A's trailing 11-4, and it is Peter Tassler leading off for the A's as he takes ball number 1. Rather, that is appealed and called strike. Tassler swings and misses, finds himself down in the count 0-2. Tassler, a single and 2 strikeouts in this game. That pitch fouled off back over the first base dugout. We'll do the 1-2 over again. Actually, 0-2. I stand corrected. Lotus, the pitcher from Oklahoma. That one's swung on and missed. Actually foul tipped, called by umpire Tony Vega. 1 away, and the A's down to their final 2 outs to try to claw into this deficit. Jordan Rodriguez steps into the plate. He's also a strikeout victim twice in this ball game. 1 swinging, 1 looking. A swing and a miss, and he's down in the count 0-1. Jordan Rodriguez in the crouch stance. Takes that pitch outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count as Lotus works from the third base side of the rubber. And the Larks looking to improve to 3-1 on the season. That pitch called strike over the outer edge for strike number 2. Rodriguez will send his bat swinging, and that will be a strikeout as that bat went flying towards the Larks dugout, and that will bring in the 9-hole hitter Juan Rivera. I don't want to say it, but it's true. The hat trick for Rodriguez in this game. And the first pitch to Rivera, a strike over the outer half for strike number 1. A 1 delivery. That's inside, and it gets Rivera scooting back. They say it grazed his knees. And we will have runner aboard. That is the second time this game Rivera has been struck by a pitch. And we will turn the lineup over to Cooper Schneider. Schneider a strikeout victim his last time up. Schneider with a hat trick already in this game. That pitch well outside makes it 1-0. The 1-0 delivery from Lotus, swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1 apiece for Schneider. The 1-1 delivery from Lotus. It is down low, blocked by Evans as it rolls back out into the field of play, makes it 2-1 for Schneider. Both catchers tonight putting the work in behind the plate to keep balls in play and keep them in front of them and trying to hold runs from scoring on some wild pitching. That pitch misses, makes it 3-1 now for Schneider. A Strike called. Makes it a full count now to Schneider. So the payoff pitch after Schneider flipped his bat thinking it was ball 4, but it wasn't. It's called strike 2. The payoff pitch from Lotus. Inside, and they will put runners on first and second for the Dodge City A's as they cling to life here in the top of the 9th. Caleb Bergman coming to bat, a strikeout victim his last time up. A hit by pitch and a walk have put runners on. Bergman 0 for 4 on the evening as he has struck out 3 times himself. That pitch called strike for number 1. That pitch and over the outer inner half for strike number 2. And we're going to have a pause in play as some little kids had gotten down between the net and the brick wall that is down at the base of the grandstands. So they've chased them out of there and we'll go back to play. Bergman down in the count, 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that will end the inning. The A's leave 2 aboard. And the A's will fall in this one 11-4. We'll go ahead and do our post-game wrap-up right now. So the A's will fall to 1-3 on this season. The A's (19 strikeouts in this game for the Larks pitching staff, and dare I say that is the major difference that came in this game as the Larks take down the A's 11-4. So strikeouts an issue, pitching an issue, and it's not just for the A's. It was on both sides of the ball as at times the Larks pitching staff struggling to find the zone. The walk an issue this evening. So that will be your final 11-4. The A's return back to Cavalier Field tomorrow night as they will take on the Hayes Larks again. The night actually highlighted, and I don't want to sign off without highlighting these 2 things. Jordan Black leads off the first, the first inning, top of the first. Cooper Schneider flies out. Caleb Bergman strikes out. Jordan Black comes in a solo home run, a no-doubter over the left field wall that gave the A's an early 1-0 lead. And then in the top of the second, the A's come up. An error gets Rudy Gonzalez on, Tassler a single, Rodriguez a single, Juan Rivera a single. And at that point, the A's feel like they have life. The Larks come back to life. In the bottom of the second, they hung 5. And it was all Hayes Larks from there till you get into the top of the 8th inning. And a walk that puts Jordan Black on. And then Nolan Williams comes up with a monster no-doubter over the left field wall that gave the A's life once again with a 2-run home run. And that is what will be this game. The A's fall 11-4, 1-3 on the season as the Larks improve to 3-1 on the season. And that will end this broadcast. We are back in action tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, first pitch from Cavalier Field. I will be on the call. I will be with you 6:45 pregame. I am Justin Hergert alongside Caleb Jamison tonight here at Larks Park, saying thank you and so long and farewell from Larks Park. This has been Dodge City A's Baseball.